As soon as I started vaping, like I started having panic attacks. I started to feel anxious. I started isolating myself.
Multi-platform in the description regarding audio devices. This interface. You're going to want to get acquainted with this window, which I covered in the first video in this series, so check out that link, but we'll cover it more in a minute. And your Windows audio settings as well. So to get that, find your speaker icon in your system. Tray down here on Windows, right click it and go to recording devices or playback devices. It'll open the same menu that we need. Now this is going to show a list of the microphones and interfaces and things like that, as well as speakers that you have connected to your computer. Now for recording devices, most of you probably aren't going to have this many devices. Most of you are probably going to have one or two. It's going to be a microphone and it's going to be like a webcam or a built-in microphone. Choose which one you're going to use. Here I have my webcam microphone. Here I have my audio interface with my professional microphone. Here I have another input. Here I have the microphone input on my sound card, etc. So you need to figure out what you're recording with. Are you recording with a webcam, a gaming headset, a professional microphone, a USB microphone? USB devices are going to be named what they're called. So like if you're using a Blue Snowball or Blue Yeti, here it's going to say Blue Yeti under line in. If you're using a headset microphone, it's likely just going to be microphone for either something like to an OBS multi-platform or OBS Tableau Arduino device and our user. You're going to, and I'm going to bring our window up with this window, which I covered in. In the first video in this series, so check out that link, but we'll cover it more in a minute. And your Windows audio settings as well. So to get that, find your speaker icon in your system tray down here on Windows, right click it and go to recording devices. Or in your system tray down here on Windows, right click it and go to recording devices. Or playback devices. Windows audio settings as well. So to get that, find your speaker icon in your system tray down here on Windows, right click it and go to recording devices or playback devices. It'll open the same menu that we need. Now this is going to show a list of the microphones and interfaces and things like that, as well as speakers that you have connected to your computer. Now for recording devices, most of you probably aren't going to have this many devices. Most of you are probably going to have one or and it's going to be like a webcam or a built-in microphone. Choose which one you're going to use. Here I have my webcam microphone. Here I have my audio interface with my professional microphone. Here I have another input. Here I have the microphone input on my sound card, etc. So you need to figure out what you're recording with. Are you recording with a webcam, a gaming headset, a professional microphone, a USB microphone? USB devices are going to be named what they're called. So like if you're using a Blue Snowball or Blue Yeti, here it's going to say Blue Yeti under line in. If you're using a headset microphone, it's likely just going to be microphone for either something like Realtek high-tech or high-definition audio or your sound card. And that's going to want what you're going to want to look for in just a minute. Same thing with speakers. By default, your default should work because what you have selected as your default in Windows is what you're going to you're going to hear out of. Something you want to look out for is in Windows your default communication device. With Skype or TeamSpeak or programs like that, it may be putting your chat out via your default communications device. If you want OBS to pick up these devices, you need to make sure that this is set to the same device and identify this in OBS. So let's check out our audio settings here in OBS. This is the mixer. It's going to show the audio devices you currently have selected, an audio wave of whatever sound is running through them, some volume knobs to balance your audio, and then some mixer settings. If we click the gear next to mixer, you're presented with a bigger, window of what you have going here in terms of volume and devices. Now, one thing I want to point out real quick is this down mix to mono option. If you're only getting microphone audio through the left or right speaker, this is because you have a mono microphone. There's nothing wrong with that, and most professional grade microphones are mono. But if that's what's happening, then you're going to want to down mix it to mono. That way it outputs it to both speakers for all of your viewers. That seems kind of backwards, but a mono stream is actually going to output via left and right equally, whereas if you have a stereo input that's coming in but only on one side, it's only going to go out that one side. So look at that, and then if you need to offset your audio to match something like an Elgato or something, you can do that here, or we'll cover that later. All right, open up your settings and go over here to audio. Your sample rate should be either 44.1 kilohertz or 48 kilohertz. In most cases, it's going to be 44.1. Open back up your recording devices and check out what you have in your microphone and stuff. So if I open up my interface here and go to properties and then advanced, you can see here it's 2-channel 44.1 kilohertz or 44,100 hertz. Same thing if I go to my speakers that I'm using, my SPDIF out properties advanced, it's actually 48,000, but my microphone is 44.1, and that's what's most important in terms of balancing, so that's what I have selected. Between the two of 44.1 and 48, it really isn't going to make a huge difference for you. You don't really want it on 22.05 unless you know what you're doing, because it's going to sound like crap. You also can choose stereo or mono. In most cases, you're going to want stereo audio, because if you're recording something like a game or a video, you want stereo audio. Now here you have the option to select multiple audio devices. For your desktop audio device, it should be set to default for your game sound and things like that. Or as we mentioned previously, if you know a specific output that's happening that you want to capture, you can choose that here. Same thing with desktop audio device too. Let's say you have game out go into your default, you choose that as default, but you want Skype picked up as well. Well, we can go over here to speakers, which our Skype is going out of, or rather for me it's a line out, and then we're picking up.
Hey guys, it's Vatgurn here. Now, one thing I noticed a lot of people have been going at your capture. So, any game that I want to stream on my PS, your phones, you're gonna see this desktop audio, monitor, and output, and you're gonna have them all on the same channel. So, just look what happens when I do this. I'm opening up Streamlabs real quick just to show you guys.
To test Glad's odor blocking technology, we hit a treat from the Ultimate Nose.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's redoing it because a lot of shows basically affecting everything. You gotta do it, the audio input capture, and just name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna name it test, and then press OK. Don't mess with any of these stuff. Okay. Okay, guys, sorry I'm jumping in the middle of you, but go choose whichever mic that you want. If you want to see if it's not the default and you bought like a separate one, an external mic, if you want to see what the name of it is, just right click on your little separate one, an external mic. If you want to see what the name of it is, just right click on your little speaker thing and go to sounds, and it'll show you all the microphones you have. Make sure you go to the recordings tab in your sounds, because playback is your speakers. Make sure you go to the recording. That's where it'll show you all of the microphones. And make sure it's not disabled. Make sure it's enabled. You see when it's gray and has that little down arrow, that means it's disabled. So if I was using that mic right now, it wouldn't work. And make sure you see those green bars on the side that shows up. Make sure those are moving when you speak, because if it doesn't, then your computer isn't picking it up. So just, it says the name under it, and you just want to go there and choose it. And it would, now it's probably just going to make it sound weird because there's no mic plugged into that. But you press OK, and it would get the audio from there. And see, right now it's set to default and it's picking it up. But I'm just gonna delete this because I already have a mic. And if it isn't working for you, it's probably because wait, okay, it's probably because you just, I'm gonna show you guys how to fix it. It's probably because your mic is disabled. So just come here, like I said, go to sounds. It comes right here. Go to recording. Make sure it's not disabled. And when you speak into it, you see these bars. Make sure they move. If they're not, that means either your mic is broken or your audio jack on your computer is or not audio, mic jack on your computer is broken. It doesn't pick up anything. Also, make sure your mic is not muted. You check your little, my mic has a little thing where you can turn up the sensitivity, and you can mute it on and unmute it. Make sure it's not muted. And if that still doesn't work, it's probably either your mic or your computer. Like my computer, for some reason the microphone jack didn't work, so I had to buy a audio to USB adapter. I had to buy microphone jack didn't work, so my computer muted. Make sure it's not muted. And if that still doesn't work, it's probably either your mic or your computer. Like my computer, for some reason the microphone jack didn't work, so I had to buy a audio to USB adapter. I'll show you guys one right now. If you want to try the audio to USB adapter, I will leave a link for the one I bought in the description. It works really good. My mic audio, it doesn't destroy your audio. It doesn't change the quality. If you buy a really cheap one, it'll make the quality really bad. But right now, mine it's good. I'll put a link to it in the description. You can buy it from Amazon.
Hey guys, it's Natrak. So this guide is mainly for those who want to set up their microphone for.
Amazon if you want to.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Connor or the Goose here, and I'm here to show you guys a fix to an issue if you're having a problem with OBS Studio. If for some reason your desktop audio is not recording all the way, or you're not getting every bit of the desktop audio that you want whenever that's a game with my. So there are multiple fixes to this. First, sure. What is it? Go into audio for your desktop audio. Your device, you want it to be your speakers or whatever you're using, headphones or whatever. And also make sure your audio device for your mic is set to your actual mic. Easier said than done. Yeah, easier said. Actually, easier done than said. Settings, you just gotta figure the fountain is. Sorry, their OBS was down all the way, and you just put it up and you can hear. Well, the thing is, I did that too, and my OBS is already at 100% or whatever you wanted to call it. So that wasn't the issue either. What I found out was the issue. You go to settings here. You go to filters, and then you see close and open threshold. Threshold. Ugh. For some reason, I had open threshold all the way up here where the close threshold was. Don't know how that got up there, but which I did. I just put close open threshold at the very bottom, close threshold around there. Still, it catches audio okay, and that is pretty much how it all worked. So I'm just gonna show an example. I'm just gonna pull up one of my YouTube videos. If I can pull it off. My channel. It's only recording my audio basically. When I put open threshold down, it's recording the gameplay of me.
Crohn's is more than a bathroom disease.
Damaging inflammation can affect more areas of your GI tract than just your gut.
Be clear about all your symptoms when talking with your gastro.
A really good-looking stream or recording is I'm Maplesvox here to make tech is super volume that the audio is at. You want it to be somewhere close to 75% of the way towards the right. If it stays all the way towards the right, you'll be clipping or peaking, and your audio will be very overwhelming or distorted. Too far to the left, and it will be hard to hear you. You can use the blue slider to adjust the volume of a source. You'll want to do this to lower the level of game sound or background music. A really good looking stream or green bar below the audio source, you'll be audio source, you can click filters and add one of the available audio filters to a source. This will generally apply to your microphone. You can add more gain if your microphone is just way too quiet.
Nice bump.
We undeniable.
Everyone's here, so let's get some Chipotle. Hey, Lexi. Hey, buddy, want a kid's meal? Yeah. Here you go. Oh, hey, pass to me. Go back over there. Go along. I'm open a minute. It's the best. You good?
Introducing Bitdefender 2020, the security suite that delivers flawless protection with the lowest
Everyone's here, so let's get some Chipotle. Hey, Lexi. Hey, buddy, want a kid's meal? Yeah. Here you go. Oh, hey, pass to me. Go back over there. Go along. I'm open a minute. It's the best.
Introducing Bitdefender 2020, the security suite that delivers flawless protection with the lowest
me when I see you with the wall every day. She